I led the way, rushing to the round table. The crowd gathered around me as I bent to look at the tabletop, then crouched to check its underside. I remembered a magic trick where things disappear from a table because of a hidden mechanism. Bai Kiwei probably expected the steel plates to be put at the table's center, setting up a trap there. If Bai Su had not turned off the lights to save me, the moment all 25 plates were gathered, the lights might have gone out for a minute or less. When they came back on, the plates would have disappeared. But my careful search of the table found nothing. The crowd watched me coldly. Shi Kantian smiled in a mean way. "Brother Wei, enough with the act," I said back. "Old man Bai, if you stop me from searching, I will quit." "Keep going," he said. I stepped back, looking at the table for 5 minutes, then checked each chair carefully. No luck. Panic started. After a moment, I realized, when the 21 plates disappeared, no one heard a sound. Why was that? In the chaos and darkness, it was impossible for someone to pick up the plates one by one without a sound. Even wrapping them in a thick blanket would not make them completely silent. I thought about it, then said, "Old man Bai, have you thought that the plates disappeared without a single sound?" "I have," he replied. "I was about to ask how you did it." I gave a strange smile. "We will know when we find them. Take your time," he said. "We will wait." I searched the meeting room for half an hour top to bottom, nothing. Sweat appeared on my forehead. I stood still, eyes closed, thinking. Either Bai Kiwei or one of his helpers took the plates, but it had to be on his orders. How did he signal them? I thought Bai Kiwei had planned to steal all 25 plates. The best place to give that signal would be where he stood behind Old Man Bai, to his left. With that thought, I jumped towards Old Man Bai's chair. He said calmly, "That's my seat." His chair, a little grander than the others out of respect, was one I had hardly checked earlier. "I know," I said. "I have a strong feeling I need to test here." "Go ahead," he replied. I bent down, examining the chair's left side, a redwood armchair with a rounded back, with a delicate marble design. The wood was well made, no thicker than an inch. I looked at every inch, finding nothing. Just as I was about to give up, I thought, "Go all in." I lifted the chair and smashed it to the floor. Before anyone could stop me, it broke apart. Old Man Bai made an angry sound. "What is that about?" I did not answer, making a victorious shout. In a piece of redwood, barely an inch long, a metal shine caught my eye. I picked it up. The piece was painted to match the chair perfectly, hard to tell apart at first glance. But it was hollow, containing tiny parts, coils, and copper strips. I handed it to Old Man Bai. "I am not an expert in electronics. What does this do?" His face became cloudy with confusion as he took it, looking at it. "It's a simple small electronic device. Touch it with metal, and it sends a signal to a receiver somewhere." Shi Kantian shouted, "Old Man Bai, ask him where the 21 plates are." I smiled slightly. "What is your hurry? Old Man Bai, can you find the receiver's location?" He nodded. "Yes." My excitement grew. "Then let's find out where it's set up." He agreed. Get Do. Tell him to bring the short-range radio wave detector." Song Jian nodded and left, returning with a tall, thin man, Du Hong, the spirit expert. He carried a square box with a fan-shaped dial and a needle, looking like an electrician's meter, with numbers. Below it was a round dial, like a compass. Du Hong came closer to Old Man Bai. He stopped, seeing the device in Bai's hand. His face turned pale, unable to finish the word up. Old Man Bai, smart as always, noticed his reaction. "What is wrong?" "Nothing." Du Hong spoke with difficulty. "I brought the detector. How sensitive is it?" Bai asked. Very good," Du Hong replied, his voice shaking even though he tried to stay calm. "Good," Bai said. "Go." Du Hong turned to leave, but Bai called, "Come back." Du Hong stopped, his face very pale. Bai spoke slowly. "Someone put a small electronic transmitter in this room. Do you know anything about it?" I don't," Du Hong said. "Then stay," Bai ordered. "Let's see where the signal is going." Du Hong, looking like a man about to be punished, nodded weakly, unable to speak. Bai tapped a steel plate against the electronic device. The detector's needles moved wildly. He pressed the plate firmly, and the needles became steady, one on the fan-shaped dial pointing to 18, the other on the compass-like dial pointing northeast, towards the door. Bai's face became dark. He made a sound. Well, just 18 meters away. He lifted the plate, and the needles reset. He tapped again, and they returned to the same positions. Looking up, he said, "The receiver is northeast, 18 meters from here." I nodded. "Let's check it out." "Of course," Bai said. "Sung, come with us. The rest, stay here." Du Hong spoke with difficulty. "Old man Bai, what about me?" Bai said sharply, "You are coming too." Du Hong's face was gray as we four went to the door. Song Jian carried the detector. Bai held the steel plate against the device. At the door, the compass needle still pointed northeast, but the distance showed 16, meaning we were 2 meters closer. We stepped into the hall, and the needle stayed steady while the distance became less. Old man Bai gave Du Hong a sharp look and walked towards another door. As he reached it, the distance showed less again. He pushed the door open, and Song Jian, Du Hong, and I followed. The room was full of unfamiliar equipment, including a very big machine like a computer. The detector's needle hit 0 in front of a steel desk. Its red light flashed and made a sharp beep, beep, beep sound. Old man Bai's sharp look went over the desk, stopping on a small device the size of an ink bottle with a blinking red light. He turned to Du Hong. "What happens when you get this signal?" Du Hong spoke with difficulty. It's. He stopped, unable to continue. Bai made his voice softer. "Du, tell the truth. If you are just following orders, the punishment will not be bad." "It was. Young Master Bai," Du Hong admitted. Old man Bai, as if he expected this, stayed calm. "What is this set up for?" Du Hong said. Young Master Bai said if he signaled, I should come immediately. Bai made a sound of disbelief. "I doubt that. I remembered a magic trick where things disappear from a table because of a hidden mechanism." I stepped back, looking at the table for 5 minutes, then checked each chair carefully. No luck. Even wrapping them in a thick blanket would not make them completely silent. Either Bai Kiwei or one of his helpers took the plates, but it had to be on his orders. I bent down, examining the chair's left side, a redwood armchair with a rounded back, with a delicate marble design. I handed it to Old Man Bai. "I am not an expert in electronics. What does this do?" He carried a square box with a fan-shaped dial and a needle, looking like an electrician's meter, with numbers. Bai spoke slowly. "Someone put a small electronic transmitter in this room. Do you know anything about it?" He pressed the plate firmly, and the needles became steady, one on the fan-shaped dial pointing to 18, the other on the compass-like dial pointing northeast, towards the door. Bai made his voice softer. "Du, tell the truth. If you are just following orders, the punishment will not be bad."